Broadcasting live from a nearby planet very close to Myra the Magnificent's intergalactic astratorium of fun, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham, and joining me is Kathleen.
Hello.
Cameron.
Huh?
And special guest, Ari Zirulnik.
Good morning.
Which is why we are remote this week, if you're watching the video version. More on that in a moment. But first, a reminder, of course, that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your cardboard needs. Get yourself, I don't know, some Unfinity, perhaps? Get yourself a draft together. It's super fun. It's legit very fun. Do that. And you can probably pre-order yourself Brothers War soon, too.
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Bro is my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's such a good set abbreviation. It's like,
The current button, if you tell them Loading Ready Run sent me button, please, they'll give you a little button. The current button is we are still on a constitutional monarchy of cards. So yeah, enjoy that. And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, and we really hugely appreciate it. So, Ari, great to see you again.
Yeah.
Great to talk to you. By way of introduction to the viewers and listeners at home, who are you at Wizards of the Coast, and specifically in terms of Unfinity, what was your role on this set?
Sure. So in general, I am a senior copywriter in Studio X at Wizards of the Coast. I generally handle words stuff like naming sets and planes, and I personally do a lot of the writing for Secret Lair. Well, there's a new sale on today, by the way, the October Super Drop.
I'm very excited about the Yoji Shinkawa stuff as a longtime Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah, me too.
Did I see correctly that there's a Junji Ito one?
Yes, you did.
There is. I did not have Right for Junji Ito on my lifetime bucket list, but here we are. Actually, I can give you a quick anecdote about that if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, exclusive. Yeah, so writing the art descriptions for him, obviously I want to get as far out of the way as possible and just let the man do what he does. So for Doomsday, I gave him one sentence and I said, "Please draw an apocalypse of your own design." That was it. And then he returned with that awesome one. So that was the trip.
That's excellent.
But for Unfinity, I was the creative text coordinator. So I was in charge of getting an intrepid team of jokesters together to write really good, funny card names and flavor text. So yeah, that's not normally my responsibility, but the current creative text lead was pretty overwhelmed at the time, and I'm known for jokes because I had a traumatic childhood, so it was me. No one here could relate.
And then you ended up having to, work coordinating with other people, but you were sort of the end of the line for which names and flavor text make it onto the card until something changes that.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I worked very closely with Mark Rosewater and Matt Tabak, who is the editor. But yeah, ultimately, they made it seem like it was my choice most of the time.
And so today on the show, we're very excited to get to share with you some. Ari called them deleted scenes earlier, just before we started recording, which I like. You know, some bonus content from Unfinity, because not only was there cards that we suggested names and flavor text for, that eventually the flavor text had to be removed because the rules were just too complicated. These rules just ruining the game. But also, we thought it'd be fun to share with you some suggestions for names and flavor text that myself and Kathleen and Cameron suggested that, for whatever valid reason, didn't end up making the card. And is this going
to be confrontational? Is that where?
No.
No. Ari, how dare you not use my best work? Should I duck?
No,
this is the receipts issue.
Oh no.
My plan was to only highlight all of my dumbest suggestions and to be like, so obviously, there's a reason why this card wasn't called this, right?
Well,
and we only have an hour, or
so part of that was, what I wanted to sort of lay down as a ground rule, basically, with the viewers before we started, was that you know, when you hear you know, a new joke or something like that, you know, you might have the
Recency bias.
well, yeah, there's the recency bias. So yeah, comedy is about the unexpected, and you know, you've now seen the jokes that are on the cards, and so if you're hearing new jokes, you might think, oh, this is a better joke because it's making me laugh now, even though it may not actually be necessarily better, but it's the one you're hearing most recently. You're hearing it newer than the one that's actually on the card. So bear that in mind. But also, comedy is very subjective too, and it's entirely possible that you know you hear a suggestion that didn't make the card that legitimately you do find funnier than the one that's on there, and that's fine. But didn't make it on there, and that's just how it goes. The point is, you know, for length or world building or I don't know, grammar. There's many like just boring legitimate reasons for one thing to get chosen over another, but also, you know, everyone's got their own opinions of what's funny, and that informs things too. And you know, it's you're allowed to find things funnier than others, but you know, no getting mad about it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, eventually somebody has to make an editorial decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
as creative text coordinator, my sense of humor is the correct one for this set.
Yeah, and factually accurate in this case.
Yeah.
So what? So you had mentioned sort of you know, justice for some deleted scenes or whatever, because there was a bunch of cards that there were some cards when we were going through the set initially that it was like on the internal tool, which we've discussed before, and Mark Rosewater said we're allowed to tell people that it's called Lore Seeker. That sometimes going into it, we would know that it's like there's too many rules on this card. This is too complicated. You don't need to submit flavor text for this card. It's never going to fit. But there was other cards where we did that, and then later the way that the ruling had to be templated or whatever meant that there just couldn't fit on it. And after you'd gone through and selected one to go on the card.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
Lore
yeah. So in general, we were able to use most of the flavor text that we submitted. But yeah, some cards either they changed the rules, or when things were being changed from Acorn to Eternal, the rules got a little longer. Or sometimes even just it was like, you know, this card is pretty complicated. We probably don't want more words on here, so people can just kind of like take in the rules and understand it better. That's a little bit of a tragedy every time because it's the jokes set, but we got to do what we got to do to make the gameplay good.
Yeah. So do you have any examples?
Yeah, I have some
You'd like
cards
to
here
share?
that were cut for space.
Ah,
Outer
Oh.
space. Yeah, there you go. Karen's giving me what I needed from that one. Thank you, Karen. Okay, I have one here from Graham's favorite card, the Focus Funambulist.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yep. The flavor text here was now try balancing 244 cards. So a little bit of that meta humor that unsets are known for.
Yeah. That would have given me the rare twofer of the name and flavor text.
Oh.
Yeah.
The rare twofer. That's in the next set. Let's see. On Truss, one of the legends. So we have some characters that kind of only that we as a group kind of made up and started building out that only really appear on flavor text. One of them is Truss's long-suffering assistant Glaxar. And Glaxar made it on a couple cards in the set, but he was referred to on Truss's text, and that obviously got removed for a whole lot of rules copy here, and that was in quotes. Hey Glaxar, can you double check the life support is still running? No reason. Let's see. All right, here's a good one. Exit through the Griff Shop. This was an attraction,
yeah.
so there's multiple ones, and everyone started having too much fun making up the silliest, slightly wrong planeswalker names you can imagine. So I've gathered all of them here. Here's all of our fake planeswalkers. We have the first one says, featuring all your favorite planeswalkers. This is definitely one of you guys, because favorite spelled the wrong way. Narsat, Eugene, Vranka, even Sharkand Vol. Merch for planeswalkers like Chandro, Teferi, Liliane, and Elsbeth. Perfect for fans of Jilliana, Chandro, and Ral's Eric. Souvenirs of all your favorite planeswalkers like Lillian, Korn, Dak, and Nisso. So
I also want to mention, because I had this one written down as well, for a suggestion from Cameron of in quotes, I love the Astroturonium. Like that they can't get their own merch correct.
That's pretty funny.
Chandro.
Yeah, Chandro is something else. The one that's really jumping out at me is Eugene Freakin and Liliane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's one that made it onto the back of the packaging, if you can believe it. For Make a Blank Splash.
Yes.
The flavor text that we didn't choose, or that we wanted to do, was any dunk tank could have water. Only the Astrotoriums had a sentient ooze named Greg.
Ooh.
Greg.
That's great.
Rosewater and I really like bonded with Greg conceptually. So on the back of the draft boosters for Unfinity, there's fine print. There's an excerpt from the waiver, and it talks about you're not supposed to drink Greg. So don't do any Greg drinking.
That's how Greg reproduces.
Yeah.
No comment. Let's see.
I like there's some of the other suggestions for Make a Blank Splash. I like Cameron's of a proud part of the Astrotorium's treatment plant.
Mm-hmm.
And from Kathleen, on its home planet, people would run screaming from the Osbaloth, but now they pay to get in.
It's a good team we got here.
Yeah.
Urza's Funhouse. This one's going to be relevant to Brothers War.
Yeah.
It's the non. Oh, sorry, Kathleen.
I have a question for you after this. Please continue.
Okay,
Don't
sure.
Let me
Yeah. So bring a sweater. It gets cold after the bit with the Golgothian Silex, and that's an excerpt from Salzon's Ride Review, which did make it on a couple other cards.
It did, and big props to Austin, who I believe came up with the idea of Salzon's Ride Review.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Austin and I had kind of a similar idea, but I had Blesnort's,
Astrotorium tips.
Yeah, Blesnort's Astrotorium tips. So I can't understand why Salzon's Ride Review would be if you have two concepts that are the same thing, and why you wouldn't pick the one that's literally a third of the length.
There was a big part at the end after the team had finished, where I basically I took a list of every card that was a quote, and I took every legend in the set and also the ones we had made up, and just moved attributions around to try to give people an even amount of representation in what they were saying. And anything would all get condensed into Salzon's Ride Review at that point. Honestly, the thing that surprised me the most is that Myra actually only talks on a couple cards.
She seems kind of hands off.
Yeah. Yeah, Myra is, she's not in the trenches. She's more of a conceptual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we did one of the animated shorts for the Unfinity PPR, we brought in Lexi McQueen to voice Myra. And so she was I started telling her about the character and stuff like that, and she plays Magic, so it's not so she was she's like, okay, I'm seeing her kind of with an Oprah kind of grandiosity. She's she's big, she's important, she's theatrical. She's you deal with this. I am doing very important work, because she's also the main attraction, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, if you want background information on all of your favorite legends from the set, I was just on last Friday, Rosewater's podcast, where we made up on the spot all of the canon for Unfinity. It's all canon. It's all real. It's all completely improvised, but it's true. Put it in the wiki. It's canon.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think we decided Myra inherited this big old derelict space station, and and used her ingenuity to turn it into this wonderful place that everyone wants to go to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
In the short that we made, which was approved, we just sort of made and it works because this is like
I mean,
it's
I
from an
didn't approve it.
employee. It's from an employee training video, so it could be completely made up in the universe, right? But there's a robot that just says like a tactically unspecified number of years ago, Myra the Magnificent started the Astrotorium by launching a roller coaster into space, and it just skips. Right, it's just like, and now it's this, and it's like, what happened in the intervening period? How did you launch a roller coaster into space, and what happened in the end now?
Most of the rides still launch you into space, so I'd say that's also canon. Put it in the wiki.
Perfect.
I mean, in a way of speaking, we are all being launched into space right now.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're being strategically not launched into space, right?
Hmm.
Like we're one slightly off rotation away from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
We're just the crusty fuzz on top of a huge thing that is being launched around space, though.
Honestly, Krusty Fuzz is the nicest thing anyone's called me in a while, so I'll take it.
as it turns out, time travel really easy to figure out. Traveling in space and time simultaneously, so you wind up on a planet's surface again, slightly trickier.
Nice.
Incredible. If we could briefly sidetrack back to the Golgothan silence thing.
Oh yeah, right.
So that was my flavor text, and then that I got asked to work on Bro after that. So I was like so happy that I had spent like I'm going to say at least an hour on like the Magic Wiki trying to like make a good Urza joke and like learning all about the lore. It proved to be a very good use of my time. And at the time I was like, wow, 60 minutes of research for 10 seconds of writing. God.
It didn't end up making the card.
Yeah.
Isn't knowledge its own reward, though?
I mean, that's what I tell myself all the time.
There you go. It worked out.
I wanted to take a quick look at Animate Graveyard because this is another one that ended up not having any flavor text. Early on, I had suggested the trash belt is where things go to be forgotten about. Nothing's supposed to come back. Which, Ari, you said that you liked and wanted us to sort of riff on it a little bit. And so everyone had other kind of like suggestions for other bits of like what could be happening in the Astrotorium's in the Astrotorium's graveyard. I quite like Kathleen's of the Astrotorium's trash belt is home to several distinct species of malevolent psychic entity.
I actually picked one for this card too.
Yeah, it was you threw us away, forgot about us, but we did not forget about you.
That was that Sean?
That was Sean. Or actually, it was either that one or one from you combining other ideas, which was the Astrotorium scraps its rides as soon as they get too old, broken, or self-aware. I also just really like Cameron's of an asterisk with self-assembly require.
Oh wow, so many layers.
Mm-hmm. Are there any others you have handy that had their?
I actually have a bunch. I'm just trying not to go over.
Oh no, go for it. Lay it on us. I've got a bunch as well, so we could just fire through things.
Great. Yeah, okay, cool. So I have Dart Throw, which is actually an attraction. And this one has some really morbid and funny ones in it. Like now with a 99.9 survival rate. My favorite one for this one is so we had another character called Scrunt, who was Minox's assistant, and Scrunt didn't actually make it on any cards in the final product.
My boy,
sad. But this text is really funny. So it says, "Okay, so you should aim lower than he did." Scrunt, Midway assistant manager.
Originally, I had Scrunt on Rat in a Hat and Scooch, and it was like a little story there that it was like on Scooch. Scrunt was going, no, I have no idea who that rat is. We've never seen him before. Why would you even say that? And then a Rat in the Hat, he's like, all right, here's your candy. Remember, we don't know each other.
Yeah, so this is another example of moving the names around. So Minoxa was given the credit on Scooch because like she's on cards. So it made more sense to use her. And then we used Rat in the Hat to explain the infestation problem on the station. Right. Which we didn't really have another place to talk about. So that kind of became one of the more explanatory FTs. Excuse me.
I think that's an interesting like tension when you write flavor text is like there's a lot of room to be doing interesting things, but how much space should you dedicate to literally like what if I just find an interesting and elegant way of explaining something about this world? Because as like a flavor text writer, you have a lot more like breakdown information about what is going on than your average reader. So it's like can you be like reading this card and learn something about the Astrotorium, right? Or the other whatever setting you're in, you know.
And it's I imagine that's quite the tension for other sets. For Goofy set, it's really like we can spare 3 or 4 cards to explain what's going on, and the others are all jokes. There's a couple other dart throws that I really liked. This one's exceptionally silly. I don't know who did this one, but they should be proud and ashamed. Dart for dart's sake.
That was Mark Rosewater.
Yeah, that tracks. Responsible for most of the puns in the set.
Yeah.
We have a bullseye gets you a bear. A miss gets you a careening joyride into the blackness of space.
Nice.
You want to do one? We can go back and forth or something.
Yeah. Well, I know that Kathleen wanted to talk about Amped Up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Amped Up ended up with flavor text, but it ended up with I would say, a very elegantly shortened version of the flavor text. And I wanted to express my gratitude for you to like keeping it, right?
So this is as printed.
Yeah. Space can be a lawless place, far from the prying eyes of electrical inspectors, which is like really nice, a fantastic joke. The original version of space is a lawless place, an endless frontier where anyone can make their fortune unfettered by the prying eyes of electrical inspectors. So this is a classic Kathleen sentence, as it includes several adjectives that don't necessarily need to be there.
They're both really funny. This is one of my favorites from the set for sure.
I like that. I mean, that's an example. We talked about this actually in the chat that I did with Mark and Sean Baby, is that having to reduce things just enough to sort of make it all fit, because Cameron's flavor text for Draconian Gatebot, which I love, as suggested, was and of course in all caps, "You must be this tall to ride. You have 20 seconds." But on the card it's 10 seconds because the word 20 is longer and it wouldn't fit otherwise.
Yeah. Like, you never really appreciate that the power and toughness at the bottom right takes a slight bite out of text space on the card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lore Seeker does a pretty good job of mocking up what the cards would look like as you write the text, but sometimes it's not quite right. It's possible that the reminder text got added to this later, too. I think there was a debate at some point about the attraction reminder text or not, because like the back of the attraction cards fully explain what they do, but it's still best to have the information on the card itself.
I like your other suggestion for this card, Cameron, is your suitability for this attraction is judged to be adequate. Please enjoy, citizen.
The robots were really fun. Who did them in all caps first, Cameron or Sean Baby?
I think it was
at
Cameron.
The same time?
I think it was like potentially hours apart, but judging by timestamp, Draconian Gatebot was the first one.
Nice. The all caps robots are a joy.
There was one. I think it's one clown band. That. This one had a lot of different. So the printed one is programmed to play more than 70 instruments and only one song, which was an area that we were all sort of playing in. Mm-hmm. I had suggested employees hate it, kids love it, or another one from Scrunt being like, "Fine, I'll go ask Pietra if she can program it to play a different song." Kathleen had 28 instruments, one song on loop, 0 breaks, which was very good as well. But I just actually, you ended up with the one that made it to print. I didn't even realize.
No, neither did I. Neat.
And then, but I just love Cameron's suggestion for this, which was honk. Just all caps.
There was another honk joke. Here's one of the I'll do actually one of my justice for one of my flavor texts for once.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
On the card Clown Car, there was this was very divisive. There's a split between, I believe it was me and Rosewater. Rosewater wrote, "It runs on laughing gas." Very funny. And I had written, "If you hear a honk, get out of the way."
Yeah.
It's layers, man. And layers don't always make it onto the card. Sometimes you just need to go with the more straightforward joke.
Yes, but I'll.
Some other ones we had for this one. Cameron had not so much a clown car as a portal to the clown verse. I had a front wheel drive, size 242 platform boot full of mirth. And Kathleen's, there's actually a quantum mass reconstitutioner hidden in the heel, attributed to Pietra.
If you need something explained the long way, I am your lady.
It's great. Long jokes are funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, longevity is the soul of wit, right? That's the
Yes.
yeah.
That's what my therapist told me.
I want to actually talk. Speaking of more robots, the Tick Automaton.
Oh yeah.
Which ended up getting the flavor text. I just want to double check what's actually printed on it. Is yes, please do not engage in theory or logic debates in the nature of reality with the park staff or with the robot staff. Assertorium sign. There's one from Kathleen. The Assertorium robots have faces, so attendees don't get angry when they malfunction. It's also cheaper to give a robot a face than it is to fix it.
That's a very Assertorium flavor text.
Yeah. One that I really liked of mine for this, it was a quote attributed to nobody, but just like, "It's paying out. All right, quick, Northax, go back to the hive and bring the whole brood." As if like, we're all getting in for free today. But is it this? Oh, yes, it's this one from Cameron. Directive, dispense tickets. Directive unclear, converting universe into tickets. It's the
paperclip.
Yeah, the
problem.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Really good. So Cameron wrote my absolute favorite piece of flavor text that did not get used in the set, and I fought for it, and I failed. I lost the fight. I'm sorry, Cameron. On Claire de Lune.
Which
I'm
ended up
enjoying the remembering face.
Yeah.
It ended up being a variant of one that I wrote, which was she can make goblins, sapperlings, and even Merit Lage, though that one takes a lot of balloons.
And Cameron had written, "Another germ? Are you sure?" which was considered to be a little too hard to get by some people. But obviously, with Claire de Lune, if you have a germ token in your graveyard, it's a 0/0. If you reanimate it with Claire, it dies instantly forever. It's really good.
It's so dark. Who's asking for these germ balloons?
I just imagine germs spend a lot of their time feeling cold and then nothing.
They're fire axion germs now, so
I mean, Cameron's other suggestion for this card is also pretty dark, which is a balloon animal is finished when the squeaking becomes screaming.
Well, you don't want to keep twisting it.
Oh no.
Like, that's how you know.
Bro, you okay?
I don't know.
That's incredible. I'm very happy with what we got here too. You know, a card that doesn't require any inside knowledge to know what Merit Lage is or does.
Yeah.
I like. I want to give Kathleen some props for the flavor text for Soliflora, whom she also named, because not enough, too many rules on Soliflora because she's very complicated. But
No, always copied, never equaled. But Tish, that's
Yeah.
what she does.
it's good though. It's clean.
good.
Yeah,
It's good.
That's a very tidy joke. I like it.
Yeah.
I suggested wait till you see her greaves.
That's silly. Man,
I just love that she's wearing the helm of the host and the armadillo cloak.
I know, she looks ridiculous, honestly, but like so does Julia Fox, and we give her a pass.
Yeah,
she's a galactic influencer. She's making
Yeah.
a statement.
yeah.
Ooh, I got a good one.
Right.
A tragedy of rules text length of a Squirrel Stack the attraction Squirrel Stack, because obviously any flavor text about squirrels is going to be pretty funny. Let's see what we got here. We have follow-up game. Find out where they all just went. We have squirrels are not a sturdy or cooperative building material. The park had a squirrel infestation. Myra needed a new attraction. The game built itself. Here's my favorite one that hopefully by delivery can do justice to. You have 5 seconds. Stack those squirrels. some goofy stuff. You goofballs.
I like squirrels make terrible building materials for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is their total ambivalence to the concept of structural mechanics.
That one was definitely too long, but that one's great.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one more attraction here too, if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
The Tunnel of Love. This was possibly at one point Tybalt's Tunnel of Love. There was a big back and forth of should the rides be generically named or should they be like magic themed as part of the park. The reason, one of the main reasons that generic name won is just that the art, because we had the art first, right? The flavor text process is we have the art, we have the rules. Go do 250 New Yorker caption contests. It's basically what it is. So the fact that there's no magic stuff in the art kind of made the generic names win out. But I have proposed if we were to do for the next unset, perhaps we do a writing pass before the art and then after, because there's several cards that we had. Actually, let me talk about that after this.
Okay.
So we said these because we have Tunnel of Love up on the screen already. So let me get that one through, and then I'll talk about the other thing. Take a ride through an entire relationship from first kiss to acrimonious divorce. Divergent ride pathways send some cars to the tunnel of just friends. And then love is a lie, a trap set by monsters. Hold on, that might make a good ride. Heartbroken ride designer.
I had whoever said love is a wonderful thing and whoever designed this ride were clearly two very different people.
Oh, that's really good.
Wow. So yeah, Tunnel of Love, not a highly recommended attraction at the Astratorium. I'm guessing.
Apparently, but yeah, it was almost Tybalt's Tunnel of Love.
Oh, so can I wait? Hold up. This is Sean. Sean suggested whole of murky sensuality.
I'm gonna take a second of this public forum to say how stoked I was to work with freaking Sean Baby of all people.
That was fun, yeah.
He was the first person on my list, no offense. He was the first person on my list of writers to hire for this set. He was one of my biggest comedic inspirations. I'm proud of myself and also slightly ashamed that I never said any of this to his face whatsoever as we were working on it. But I have so many memories of like coming home from high school, grabbing my new copy of Electronic Gaming Monthly and flipping straight to the back for his whatever terrible game he's reviewing. There's so many stupid jokes he's made that like are engraved in my brain that are useless to me in day-to-day life. I mean, unless y'all also read it, and Susu Studio crystals means something to you. It's like, no, it was that was a treat.
Yeah, that was super fun. This was a really fun team. Like this is larger than most creative text teams?
By a little bit, by a couple people.
Yeah.
No, I basically when I was given the assignment, I was like, can I hire comedians? It basically was what I was like, can I hire people who are professionally funny instead of our standard pool has a lot of very talented, funny people, but I wanted to get like some capital N names. And I'm very happy with the team I got. So look at all of you, I'll have capital N names.
Yeah, right to the tippy top, the comedy A-list.
Yeah, and the Magic the Gathering sphere. But
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah,
it was the team was amazing. There's a lot of stuff I want to do differently. I would do differently if I did this again. Like I really wanted to do those. We did one like writers' room live chat. I really wanted to do more, but actually I had some personal stuff come up while the set was going on, and I had to fly home, so I wasn't able to
Oh.
like run all of the writers' room stuff I wanted to. But next time,
Sweet. I want to jump over to another one that I believe had its flavor text no longer fit for space.
yeah,
I think because of a lot of reminder text, which is get your head in the game.
yes. Oh, that's on my list too.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I think that the one that we settled on, or that you settled on, that didn't end up making it, was from Mark, which is, if any design would make this girl happy, Yawgmoth's will.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds like it's from Mark.
A lot of people complain about the puns because they do not appreciate that there is a rich history of puns in unsets. Like it would not be an unset without this level, and I'm happy to be part of the ongoing tradition.
I'm very happy with the level of puns that we have. I like, as I was going through everything, I tried to have different types of humor represented. Like, if you look at the card Hat Trick is doing something for the very first time in Unhistory, which is the very first example of I'll just call it internet anti-humor on the Magic the Gathering card. Like, it's what's happening in the art. Well, okay, sure, let's have that flavor text say, "Behold the power of my hat and the ghosts of 2 other hats I used to own." Austin wrote that one, and it is very absurdist. I fought a lot of people to keep this in the set, and the reception to it was really good. I was like, I want one really, really absurdist joke here. This was the hill that I perished on top of.
Good. It's a really good one.
Yeah, thank you for fighting for that one. It's absurdist humor is underappreciated.
It really is. But then you get to feel a little superior for liking it. So. Just kidding? Question mark.
You're taking pride in a job well done.
Indeed. We all should be very proud of this set. It rules. I've had a lot of people internally be like, "Yeah, this is the funniest unset we've ever done." So
I think we've done some very good stuff here. I want to look quickly at the Robo Pinata.
Oh yes.
Printed with "I am filled with delicious candy. I am not a trick," courtesy of Sean. But some suggestions from the rest of us. There could be anything inside. Here's the stick. From me.
Good.
Kathleen with after a short-lived field test, the Pinata bot design was revised to include a reinforced carbon steel frame and several layers of ablative armor. And then Cameron's programming it to experience pain as fulfillment was also deemed unethical.
I want to say that I submitted just in all caps harder for this.
Yeah, that would not make it on a card.
No, nobody did that. Oh.
I got a good one that we ran out of space on. This is one that the art and really improved the flavor text. We can pull up a Goblin Girder Gang.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have in the art, like the goblins they're doing like the classic people on a steel beam, and they're just laughing uproariously as they drop their lunch. Also, this card is a house. It did so much work for me in the draft I played. It is very strong. Draft this one, folks. We had in quotes. So then he says, "Where's your safety inspector?" And then I was like, I really liked how that one worked with, like, the art really makes that line a lot stronger.
On Circuits Act, some other suggestions from the team here. Section 48B of the Assertorium waiver states that if you enter the ring, you will be juggled.
That one was really good.
And there was one from Cameron. Oh yes, if it can be juggled, it is imperative that it be juggled.
We took one of the texts from this one and used it on Juggletron. We have 2 juggling cards. We have this one and Juggletron, and we had some juggling jokes that we took the felony line off of this one because we deemed it not quite appropriate and put it on Juggletron. And which I'm really happy with how Juggletron turned out. This one's very funny.
It's all fun and games until it drops. I can't quite read it.
It's all fun and games until it drops a guest. Then it's a misdemeanor.
Right.
Juggletron is also a house. If you're drafting,
Yes.
pick up Juggletron. Juggletron beats face.
What, did you have it in the PPR, right?
I did.
You
did.
got 4 stickers on that thing?
Yep.
I saw. That's wild.
I think I might have been able to get a 5th one on.
Wow.
That's it, like, and at that point, that's trample. Do whatever. That rules.
Trades with Merit Lage.
Don't look her up.
I like your suggestion on this one, Kathleen, of will you be juggled? Yes. Will you get hurt? That's still up in the air.
Oh.
Like I said, it's a proud tradition of puns, and I am honored to be part of it.
You should be. And as you know, the highest praise that a pun can get is causing pain in the folks around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some other ones that we suggested for questionable cuisine.
Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
Also, because one of the names I suggested for this one was Grim Scoops.
Yeah, Grim Scoops. Oh man, Grim Scoops. I know
that you like that one, Ari. But,
I love Grim Scoops. Speaking of absurdist.
Yeah. My flavor text suggestion for this one of no more creams, only nightmares.
Oh.
Kathleen's of many describe the flavor as haunting, which is very clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really like Cameron's of a quote of why can't I remember where we parked?
Oh, subtle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, this and the one it ended up with, I guess for audio folks, is pretty dang funny though too, right? May contain soy, may contain a deep void, chillingly hoarse and howling without voice, may contain gluten.
It's very, very strong.
Oh, that was cut down too. The original full one for that was may contain empty calories, may contain a deep void where calories would be, hoarse and howling without voice, may contain corn syrup.
Hoarse and howling without voice. Wow.
Good.
I like the little poems you get to write when you're doing flavor text.
Yeah, it's a very unique form of short fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my background is in copywriting for ad agencies, so I always view them as just like little headline assignments.
It's like new 6-word short story just dropped. Danger, low-flying owls. Missing chihuahua.
I saw that one.
The stilt strider. The rhino on stilts had a couple flavor texts that I really enjoyed. He suggested Rodney enjoyed every part of his job, save for constantly suppressing the urge to charge.
That one takes you. That was a thinker.
Yeah.
I do want to see the charging stilt.
Just want to. Also, I love Kathleen. You called him Jeff in one of your suggestions.
He looks like a
Jeff loved his job, but really wanted to be doing stand-up.
Everyone's a Jeff or a Greg until proven otherwise.
I think if you're going to name a rhino anything, I think Jeff is high on the list of kind of absurdist normal humor names.
Well, it's like the first Twitch Plays Pokemon. There was, I don't know, one of the Pokemons was just named Brian.
Yeah.
And somebody asked, why is it named Brian? And then you're like, he looks like a Brian. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like when you meet a cat named Flapjack or something like that. It doesn't make sense, but it's...
Yeah. I met a dog named Pants the other day, which was wonderful.
Such a good name for a dog.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to say about this card is that it rocks.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. I gotta have more here.
Tapper, if we want to look at TAPPER.
That thing went through a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about what was the issue there, or not issue, but the creative process around that.
It was just trying to figure out a good name. This art is hilarious and weird and kind of hard to figure out what's going on. There's a little robot. It has a cowboy hat on, and then on top of the cowboy hat, it has a flying saucer. And on top of the flying saucer, there's like a Jack in the Box alien on a spring. So it's like, what do you name this guy? And it was a little bit of it's some weird. Well, let me read this this Sean Baby name right here. It was the Burstin' Jorpy collectible hat bot. Just very strange. But we tried stuff about it be like Grammy called it a walk around welcomer. Like maybe it's one of the welcome workers, right?
Yeah.
Walk around whimsy maker. It looks like we're there for a bit. I wrote chaperone. And then eventually we just went with T.A.P.P.P.E.R. And the flavor text explains what that stands for. And it says, technologically advanced, people-pleasing entertainment robot, eh? Cute. Nice hat. It would be a shame if something happened to it. And that's a quote from Brimsboro and the Midway Mobster.
Remember how I said I would only really want to bring up all of my terrible suggestions that were rightfully unchosen? Mr. Boingy Surprise.
It's wonderful.
Like, that's, I don't know, kind of funny, but it's a terrible card name. So,
I mean,
I liked Pop-O-Matic Bobble.
I mean, Hasbro should own the rights to that, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to make that joke.
The Pop-O-Matic Bubble?
It's a lot of work when someone says, oh, Hasbro does this. It'll be easy. We own it. It usually means that there are many lawyers to talk to down that road.
Fair.
Well, that's
I like the flavor text suggestion from Cameron for this of Pop goes the probability matrix.
No.
What was this one?
And Kathleen's nobody expects the second smaller robot.
This one from Mark is pretty good. Blippi had a glowing red nose, light up ears, a cute bow tie, but no one ever noticed any of that. All anyone ever talked about was the hat. The stupid hat. Why, oh, why had they programmed him with feelings?
No.
And our robots canonically are not feeling.
Yeah, I
They are
remember that
robots.
very early on,
Yeah.
which was avoid the what is my function in life? To pass the butter. Oh God.
Yeah, no, the Astrotorium is a great place to work. The canon is it's a great place to work, and it's maybe a slightly unsafe place to visit, but really fun.
Yeah, you're going to have an exciting time for all that it entails.
Yes. But it's a really, like, all the workers are treated fairly. You know, it's a fantasy set, so it's really happy. It's great.
I think it's important to also, like, you know, you can model things that are nice to have in the world, and, like, you know, the joke doesn't always have to be all these people are mistreated. I think we've had those jokes. We can have different jokes nowadays.
Exactly, like a robot with like 5 different hats on.
Yeah.
This card is also a house, by the way. This card's really, I caught Rosewater muttering, you should have made it worse. So take that as some draft advice.
Wow.
The main event Horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which ended up with the flavor text, because it changed at some point during the editing step. And it's, Anna and Blaine. Yeah, Anna and Blaine said the ride was awesome. Yolanda and Zachary aren't back yet, because it's, alphabetical. But the one from Cameron is, one could claim that half the ride was thrown into a black hole and be correct, but half was not, and that's not bad.
That's dark.
And I also quite like Kathleen's here, which is in a similar vein to the one that was selected, which was, it wasn't Andy's day, or Boona's, or Gorp's, but Steve was fine.
Poor Gorp.
Poor Gorp.
Poor Gorp.
Poor Gorp.
Right in the middle there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I have anything else here on this list. Does anyone feel like they absolutely nailed one? What's your big success? Kathleen changed an entire card with name so good.
Which one was that one?
I'm Scared Stiff.
Oh.
The perfect name, and then we added Coward to it to complete.
Oh, I thought that was.
Graham's
change.
Kathleen did the name.
No, Kathleen did the name, and Graham
Stiff.
asked to add the type.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like, "Ooh, please, can we make it a Coward?" And then and then you were like, "I don't know, I'll go ask." And I was like, "I didn't even know this was the first batch of cards."
Yeah,
and I was like, "I don't know if this is even if I'm allowed to ask something like this. This is not in the wheelhouse that I'm supposed to be doing here.
Mhm.
But I was like, can we make it a coward? And you're like, I don't know, I'll go check.
Yeah, it's
You came back and
comedy
you're like,
set.
yeah.
We're doing jokes.
Yeah.
Now you can
That
say
was
you're a
awesome.
card designer.
Ha-ha.
Well, technically, we have all crafted stuff that goes on the card, or one could say we have all designed words that have gone on a card. If you're
Ooh.
feeling disingenuous,
Yeah.
Well, it's like whenever I'm streaming Magic, I am now a Magic pro. You know?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You're being paid to play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Therefore, I'm a
Yeah.
professional. No backseating, please.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's everyone? Yeah, but what's everyone's favorite text? Or do you guys talk about this already? I mean, I'm just curious. What's everyone really stoked on?
I honestly don't remember a lot of what I wrote. 2020 was a challenging year.
Yeah.
When I was going through to prepare stuff for this, I kept surprising myself with like, oh, that was me. I'd forgotten. So I'm trying to think. I still love Goblin Cruciverbalist as the name.
Yes, that's a great name.
Um,
Some people are like, but it's closer to Scrabble
like
than crosswords. And to
Scrabble,
them,
yeah,
I
I
say,
suppose.
"Where's your sense of joy?"
Mhm.
Oh, can I? So this is like on the attraction card information booth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
This is like, I think the most, like, if you know me, this is one of the most like Kathleen jokes ever. And Paul has brought up the version which is, sir, this may be the information booth, but I cannot answer ontological questions because it would be arrogant to assume that I could describe the true nature of reality. Also because there's a line.
It's really good.
It's just like, yes, it's so long. The word ontological has been shoehorned into that sentence. Oh,
No, it's great. The humor is definitely in the length. It's wonderful.
yeah.
I think is it? I'm trying to remember the actual. Is it absolutely totally lost or really totally lost or? Gosh, what's the name of this card?
Super duper lost.
Super duper lost. That's it. It's the Fibblethip decided to get some sleep, nestled amongst the plush of Johnnies until morning.
Which is just cute.
Yeah, I just like that one because it's not, that one and the one for Big Top are just kind of like they're played a little bit more straight than the other really goofy ones. But I was just like, yeah, no, I'm proud of these.
I think my favorite of yours, Graham, is on Big Winner. This actually, I had to fight for this text a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Very funny.
Oh, I yes, because a couple people thought that the Brimsbarone, not the hat trick one, they were like, "Oh, that sounds like Graham's humor," and I was like, "It is my humor," but that was Austin's suggestion with the hat and the ghost of two hats. But this one is absolutely a Graham joke, which is just the results of the strength test were yes, yeah, I'm quite happy with that one too. Thank you for fighting for that one as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Mark really. The other joke was about like I don't remember his name, but his face with the hammer rings a bell or whatever, and we moved that over to strength testing hammer, which is basically the other half of this. So that one worked out quite well.
We could tell whenever we were on the right track, whenever you would just respond to a suggestion with just someone's name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like, Mark.
It's more exasperated. It's like Mark.
Comma, name, comma.
Graham.
Entire message. Yeah.
Cameron. Kathleen.
yeah.
Mhm.
Come on, you goofballs.
There it is. Good.
Yeah, now you have the audio version.
That means we're on the right track.
Yeah. Hello, cat. We're being menaced
Oh no.
while this is being recorded.
Oh, dear.
I don't know, Ari. What do you have any other like cards that you want to share?
I think I've hit.
Or any flavor text of yours that you're particularly proud of.
Yeah.
Oh sure. I think my favorite stuff that I did was less laugh out loud and more like I feel clever for this one. Like impounding Lotbot. I felt good about that flavor text.
That's such a good flavor text, Ari.
I think this one was my biggest flavor text win here. It's just like, yeah, like oh, ho, ho, ho.
Which is not all tickets can be exchanged for prizes.
I think that's like, I don't know. There's a sort of elegant sad humor to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was it's definitely goofy.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I was really excited about was Embiggen.
Oh, yeah.
We could not figure out a name for this giant growth pump spell. And I was looking for somewhere to put in like one Simpsons reference because just very, very, very influential on my personal sense of humor. And Embiggen Embiggen predates the Simpsons. It's actually an archaic word. It's in the dictionary. It's like just fully a word we're allowed to use. And that actually, the flavor text on this one was Rosewater. So it was like his first one on this one. It's like, it's amazing. Which is the art shows a flea growing to very large size. He wrote flea circus. No, flea circus. It really works out loud.
It does.
Yeah.
But I was happy to get that reference in. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, I just noticed one of my flavor text suggestions for this was sometimes you have to read between the lines. Sometimes you have to read between the artwork and the rules box.
Whoa. Whoa. Jeez.
That's the very sort of, to me, that's very unset humor. Of
No, it's great.
Of like, we all acknowledge we're staring at a magic card right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The what that immediately makes me check is like, oh, is this a sorcery?
No kidding, right?
I'm really hoping to see some play in Legacy Infect.
I mean, yeah. I love the sort of very elegant way of like, we can't have it. So it's like, it can't affect changelings, right? So it's like, what about Brushwag? That's a very silly creature type.
Yeah, that was a real smart solve.
Yeah. But like creature Phyrexian elf?
Well, the big one is Inkmoth Nexus got Phyrexian added to it. So it is land artifact creature Phyrexian Blinkmoth. So that's +5/+5.
That'll end the conversation real quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. For 1 green mana?
Yeah. I mean, I think scale up's probably better, but we're not here to talk about playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, none of us do that.
Yeah, we're making jokes about Magic the Gathering. Oh, who did Devil K Neville? That flavor text rules.
Devil K Neville, I also recall that there's quite a bit of back and forth to really dial in what we were doing with that.
Yeah, the final is from...
Oh, that was me.
The final's from you. It looks like the first person to start the joke was Mark.
Yeah.
He said, "Danger is my middle name. Technically it's Carl, but with a K, the dangerous spelling," which is pretty funny. And then I said, "Kadanger is my middle name. The K is silent." And then looks like Mark ripped on it again. He said, "My middle name is Danger, but spelled with a K. The K is silent but deadly." Oh, we should talk about the mime after that. And then we all just kept doing Danger's my middle name jokes. And then Graham stuck the landing, if you would.
2 things you should know about me. 1, Danger is my middle name. And 2, I don't know how to spell. Yeah. I like that one a lot.
That one is... Wait, actually, it's a Ticking Mime Bomb.
Yes, I wanted to talk about this one. This one went through so many different suggestions.
The name was hard to... Did I get the double on this one? I might be misremembering.
I think so, because, man, so many names. Yes, Ticking Mime Bomb was your suggestion.
Yeah.
And Austin was silent.
Oh, Austin is silent but deadly. Silent but deadly is unbelievable.
Perfect. Flawless. Can't imagine anything else.
That is just, so good. Also, this card is good. Draft it. It's Flametongue Kavu.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of clown robots, the non-human cannonball.
Oh, yeah. This was an early one, too. This was like a really slam dunk one. I think it was Kathleen, right?
Yeah, designed for maximum impact, comedic and otherwise, was as printed. I had suggested, these days, thanks to new Astrotorium safety guidelines, almost nobody gets hit by a wayward clown.
The concept of a wayward clown is very powerful.
But I also love Cameron's of the nose made sure you would be able to hear the one that got you.
That art is really phenomenal too.
Yeah. Courage comes in many forms, but round is optimal.
That's
Wow.
pretty sweet.
Oh, Kathleen with a pun as well. It's always around when you need it.
Oh, oh.
Very good.
Oh, you know what card was really hard to name that we got there?
Hmm?
Octo Opus.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
Lord.
yes.
What a nightmare.
Hmm.
There's
It's an enchantment.
Several dozen suggestions.
Yeah. It's an enchantment that makes you the octopus performer.
Yeah, and it's the token that I didn't even realize the first time I saw it. On the back, it's printed in like half size and quarter size, so you can follow all the folds,
Yeah.
which
No,
is brilliant.
there were so many things here. What we had actually Contortionist Opus was in there really early. Contortion Control, Fitting In, Eightfold Act, Weird Flex was on the list from Rosewater of all people.
Scrounge down,
Yeah, Scrooge down.
Fate fourfold,
Ooh.
fold octopus's contortion show.
But Octo Opus is really, I'm really happy with this one.
Yeah, Professor Octo's squeeze play. 10 tickles.
Ooh. I could bring up one that was that sort of worked,
All right.
which is the Vegisaur.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this one was. I remember this one being a challenge.
This one we even talked about on a call. This was the one and only call he had. So this card has a lot going on. It's first of all, it's a big ass T-Rex, a very large T-Rex, and second of all, it is a vegetarian. It's an employee per the type line. It had to be for the game balance. So it's a big T-Rex selling carrots in its hand to the people at the park. So we had the flavor text. The flavor text got locked in really, really quick, actually, because that was yours, Graham.
Yeah.
It's because that just works for the art. But the name of this card, we changed it so much. We had like Vegisaurus Rex, V-Rex,
Parsnip Predator.
yeah, Smoothie Baristasaurus. I tried even one that was T-Rex ... in space. It was just like so desperate. And we ended with Salad Bartender, which is like okay. And then when we went to editing cards, we were just like not happy with it. And I remembered Regisaurus existed. And we were like, oh, Vegisaur. But the card still doesn't quite feel. I don't know how you make this card a cohesive whole. Well, I do. In New Aria World, where we do a little writing before the art goes out, this card becomes Triceratops.
Oh,
there you
And
go.
it's a Triceratops with carrots for horns. So we go from there.
Starving
they grow
juice
back.
artist?
Yeah.
Please have them. They grow back.
Yeah. It would be weird.
Don't worry, kids. It's like you're eating my hair.
Yeah. See, we're doing it already. The team's back together.
I like Ari. We're getting so desperate. You just suggest Juice Associate.
It's just silly, right?
Yeah.
Trainee juice artisan.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote Kalesman.
Kalesman is like,
Kalesman.
Woo!
You can really taste the kale.
yeah.
Smoothie Source Flax.
Would you like to add bee pollen?
I'm just imagining like the sort of the platonic ideal of like the SNL writers room. It's like 5 a.m. There's smoke in the air. You open the door and it's just like, I can't name this dinosaur. Help.
Oh yeah, I think the long list of like stuff that looks like it's for me was when we were all on the call together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
just I wish we could have done that more next time.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of like wacky stuff here that I never expected Magic to do. Like Rosewater and I both came up with Tchotchke Elemental independently and brought it together.
Oh, really?
First Yiddish Magic card title of all time.
Oh yeah, and this one also didn't end up having space for flavor text.
Yeah, but I think we realized that early, so we didn't really push on it.
Yeah. I had suggested one more for the collection.
Yeah.
With like the intercaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the elemental, it was everything.
Yeah.
I wrote one that was help. My shop is shoplifting itself.
Kathleen had Gert was so excited he could barely hold it together.
Sean wrote, "You went to the Astrotorium, and all I am is this lousy T-shirt."
Ah! Oh, that's really good.
Oh, I remember one I was really proud of. It was on Costume Shop. It was the dress like all your favorite planeswalkers, period, and Oko. Just because I didn't think that one would get in.
No, the Eldraine slander was allowed. We also on Storybook Ride also totally went in on Eldraine.
Yeah, it's the ride is fun except when it's broken.
Yep.
Yeah, or you either leave the ride entertained or an elk, usually the latter.
Yeah. I do think that's like, this captures a particular time of Eldraine still being in standard and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, this set it took a while to be made. Like the art was done for a while before we came into, well, except for the couple pieces that weren't. But it's an on-set. They're slow going. Eldraine was fun though. It's my hot take. Oko Stompy was the best Pioneer deck.
Sorry, I just noticed, Kathleen, your suggestion of there was one part in the ride where a cat drowns in a cauldron, but it made kids cry, so Myra got rid of it.
Criminy.
And
See, she's not all bad.
No.
She's responsive to guest feedback. I didn't want Myra to be like some sort of like evil space lady.
No, Myra's not evil at all. She is a entrepreneur.
Yeah, I wanted her to be a cool space lady.
Saying Myra is evil is like saying capitalism is evil. That one was for Cameron.
I appreciate it.
Not that any attendee could know, but the employees in the Will and Rowan costumes never get the accents correct. It's like they don't know what Earth accents these sound like. They're probably fine.
This was.
How do people speak in Eldraine? Do they just speak like Scottish people? Please tell me everyone has a strong Scottish accent.
I can't speak for everyone, but going by Arena, Will and Rowan.
Because Billy Boyd does the voice for Will.
Yeah.
For Will Kenrith on Arena, which we constantly rib Wheeler about just because it bugs him. Anyway,
all
right. Do we? Do you feel like you've given appropriate justice to various flavor texts that didn't get to see the light of day until now?
Yeah, I do. I have a final one. I'll close it on one that was Mobile Clone. Was
yeah.
This one was kind of sad to cut, but because it was kind of morbid, which is that all likeness rights are hereby owned by the park.
That was Austin's joke, and it's so good.
Yeah. That was the first joke too. Yeah, Kathleen, you respond to it. Ha 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 ha.
I mean, it was more like ha 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 ha. Maybe I should have written like Lamau. Actually, that might have captured my inner feelings.
How many O's at the end of Lamau? Just one or like several for emphasis?
Yeah.
Rafflemau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a good Rafflemau in a while, yeah.
Oh god. Remember the days where we could just Rafflemau?
Yeah, but now you gotta stand back up again and I get lightheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts my knees.
Yep. Well, then I think we'll wrap it up there then. That was a blast. Thank you so much for joining us, Ari.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was terrific. Yeah. I mean, you're not necessarily a public figure in the same way that other folks on the PPRs are, but if people want to get a hold of you and say hi, can they do that on your Twitter?
They can. You can go to my Twitter, which is at Ari Zirulnik, which is spelled just like it sounds. And
we'll link it in the description.
We'll link
in
the description.
Yeah.
ARIZIRULNIK. And you can tell me about jokes you like. And if you have something mean to say, please keep it to yourself. Thank you.
That's standard operating procedure, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you all. Or thank you for joining us, and thank you all at home for listening. This has been a lot of fun. Until next time, of course, a reminder that the show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. And of course, the show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingrun, which lets us not only do this, but everything else that we do and, do things like pay people. because it's kind of important. So until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Kathleen.
Bye.
And Cameron.
Huh?
And Ari.
Goodbye.
Paul's been running tech on this. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.